Today's the day.
Today is the day, and I have to say we are so relieved. It is finally here.
Obviously, we don't know the answers yet, and we're definitely really nervous. But the fact that it's finally come, like today's the day, like we actually get to know like what's going on. That's huge for us.
Yeah, you guys, and before we get into everything, a huge thank you yet again for all the prayers, all the love, the support for not only Jared, myself, our little family. It just has meant the world to us. So many of you guys have shared your stories, whether they be stories of hope or current struggles you're going through, and it has meant the world to us. So thank you. As you can tell, we have not put out a video in a few days. Honestly, I feel like the last few days have I felt like I've been in like a fog, like time has stopped.
Yeah.
And we're just like going through the motions. And as we told you earlier, we had another test. Today is Friday.
Yeah.
And it was actually scheduled, his blood work was scheduled for this morning, but the doctor actually moved it up to yesterday because he wanted to review both results at the same time. Unfortunately, the results didn't come in for that blood work yesterday, so he bumped the appointment to today, which is Friday. So we got our hopes up that we were gonna get the ultrasound results and the blood work results yesterday, and then didn't come in, so they bumped it to today. And unfortunately, they won't go over results over the phone. So we've kind of been on pins and needles the past few days, thinking we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
And then it was bumped, but today is finally, it's here. So we thought we'd just combine everything into this video, not drag it out, so we can just hopefully get good news. You guys, I think we're both feeling kind of at peace.
We're definitely feeling both at peace, which I think is good, because we talked about this a couple times in previous videos, but everyone wants to know now, and they want to hear good news now, but that's not how the world works.
Yeah.
And so by being patient and keeping yourself busy, and by choosing to have a positive outlook on life, that's the best you can do at this point.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing right now, and it's been feels like a long time. It feels like it's been like a decade, but it's been about, what, 9 days at this point?
I don't even know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But as we mentioned, even though we've been trying to have positive attitudes, like Jared said, that doesn't mean, like we said, just felt like this cloud has been over us, and I think we're just ready to okay, let's get the news. Whatever it is, we know we can get through it. Obviously, we've been praying like crazy. We've put it in the hands of God. I did a post over on Instagram just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update, and I did a little quote over there, so you can go over and check that out. And honestly, we know there's really nothing we can do. It's out of our hands, and we're praying like crazy. We don't have to go down a new road right now. And
in case you guys are new to our channel, you have no idea what we're talking about, I essentially have 2 massive tests that I'm finding out the results to just in a couple minutes. Essentially, the first test was to see whether or not I have testicular cancer, which is awful. Yeah. And the second test is actually to see whether or not I have a brain tumor.
Yeah, you guys, so we haven't even gotten to that piece. I know that sounds really scary. It sounded really scary to us, but Jared did have a level come back called prolactin, and that was the other test. Obviously, you hear brain tumor and cancer literally in the same appointment with that urologist, and our hearts just sunk. And that's why our world was just put at a stop. But that level prolactin, apparently if it's too high, it can indicate that there is a brain tumor. So those are the 2 big tests, you guys. We're going in. Jared got the blood work updated yesterday for the prolactin. We're hoping like crazy that it's gone down, because the first time he ran it, he was like, well, this is really high. He's like, but before, he was like, I think we should get you into an MRI and just make sure it's not that and that it's good. But then he was like, before we do that, let's have you run one more test a week from today. So that was supposed to be today on Friday. He got the blood work yesterday, and we're hoping like crazy it's gone down. But we
don't know how much it's gone down, if it even has gone down, or if it's increased. So there's that, plus the ultrasound. So we actually did have the opportunity to see the ultrasound results, but we don't understand it.
There's obviously a lot of language in there we don't really understand, especially with Jared having the microtesty surgery. It looks like there's some things that were probably from that. So before we kind of go into it, we just want to go in, get this doctor's thoughts. He's going to go over everything with us. Jared also sent the results to his surgeon and doctor, the specialist in Utah as well, that did his microtesting, because we wanted kind of 2 different opinions with everything.
Exactly, yeah.
I should also mention though, with the tumor, you guys, I know that sounds so scary, and at first we were just without words, because you hear and you're just like, what in the heck is, you know?
Luckily, it looks like it's possibly treatable, like it is.
Yeah, it says it's treatable, you can.
But, I mean, again, who wants it?
But you don't, obviously, that's what the doctor said. We were on the phone with him, he's like, obviously you don't want any tumor in your brain. It can affect a lot of things. So, you guys, we are staying positive. We're gonna go in, get these results. Jared is so strong. I know that we can get through anything together. And I think we're just gonna head on in there, hope for the best. We're praying for the best.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Prolactin is still kind of high. I want you to see an endocrinologist to make sure that we're not missing anything. Meanwhile, I think that it is worthwhile to go get the MRI of the brain. If it's something's there, it's considered a tumor, considered a microtumor or a big tumor. And we would have never even assumed that your prolactin was high. And then the ultrasound you had of the testicles was fine. There's no masses, nothing to be concerned about.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
If there's anything I can do to help you, I'm happy to help. That's why I'm here. All right.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's start with the good news.
I feel like
everyone needs some good news right now.
Yeah.
We definitely needed to hear that good news.
Yep.
So, as you guys know, Jared, I mean, the reason that his urologist wanted to get him tested is because he was experiencing some pain down there, and we were like, it could be micro-testy pain, even though it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
Or he was just concerned. He was like, listen, let's just get it checked out just to make sure, rule out cancer. So, obviously, that was super nerve-wracking. But those results came back and
they're all negative. So I don't have any signs of cancer whatsoever, which is awesome. Like a very, very good sign.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing, you guys. It is.
I was so scared and nervous about that. Or even it being like misdiagnosed, because like my previous doctor out in Utah, he said that's a very common thing after microtesting for it to be misdiagnosed as cancer.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah, he was like, it came back completely clear, like you're good.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about there. And then we even asked him, you know, if like in the future, like is this something we're gonna need to stay on top of? And he said yes. He said, you know, maybe annually or something just to make sure everything's good. But he was like, you are good and clear for that. So that, oh my gosh, such a sigh of relief. I think you could see the color come into both of our faces once we got that confirmation. Everything was good with that.
That did feel pretty good. And then my other thing was my prolactin. So prolactin's like a hormone. I just barely learned about it. I don't know a ton about it, but I do know that my level is higher, I guess, than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so like 2 weeks ago when he was running the tests for the ultrasound, he also ran some blood work, and your prolactin came back on the really high side. And he was like, hey, you know, we had never even heard of that before. It did get tested back before his micro-testing. Come to find out, we looked back at some old results and it was in the normal range then, but now it was on the high side. So when we got that phone call about 2 weeks ago, he was like, listen, I think you should probably go in and get an MRI, because when I see high prolactin like that, it can be caused by a brain tumor. So obviously, as we mentioned earlier, hearing that was like super shocking, and hearing that with the cancer in the same phone call was just like so overwhelming. But he was like, listen, before you do that, let's test it again in 2 weeks, see what it is.
Which was yesterday.
Which was yesterday, yes. So that's why he went and got it tested yesterday. So we went over that today. So it came back. Good news is it went down a few points, which is great, but it's still in the high level. And so he was like, listen, this is not my specialty, which we're so grateful that he was like
honest and
looking out for us. Yes, you guys. And he's like, this isn't my specialty, but if this was me, I would go see an endocrinologist. So they specialize in hormones and kind of go from there. He said, you'll probably want to get an MRI depending on what they say. So pretty much with this prolactin, we've been learning all about it, you guys. We're all brand new to this, but pretty much your pituitary gland that's next to your brain that releases a lot of hormones, if prolactin's high, one cause of that can be a little tumor that's on that gland.
Exactly, and as it like expands, it can cause a lot of really bad side effects like loss of vision, which is huge.
Yeah, a lot of obviously you don't want a tumor anywhere in your body, or especially near your brain, so that can be really serious. So
like I said, I'm not out of the woods yet. As far as cancer goes, it looks like I'm good there, which is really great sign. As far as the tumor goes, I don't know. It sounds like we're gonna have to see this endocrinologist. In the end, I'm glad that it has gone down. We also had the opportunity to actually speak with our doctor out in Utah, the one who did the surgery on me with the microtesty. And I explained to him about the prolactin levels, even shared with him our lab results. And he too said that I should get it tested again, but he didn't seem as concerned about it, which made me feel a little bit better. But at the same time, we are gonna move forward with the endocrinologist and just kind of go from there. And hopefully, if there is anything, we can get this before it turns into anything.
But one thing we just really thought about today is we got that news, and afterwards we were talking in the car. And if we hadn't gone into that doctor appointment for, you know, potentially cancer, he wouldn't have ran those results, tested your blood work, and we wouldn't even known about this prolactin level. And so we kind of think it's a little tender mercy that, thank heavens, obviously, nothing's cancerous, but if this does turn into something, like we were able to catch it because of this. Yeah. And we're gonna be able to have peace of mind now that everything's good, you know, and kind of go from there. So that's kind of crazy because we would have never have tested this. Like we had never even heard of this. You haven't had a ton of symptoms for that.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't had really any. So as far as like the prolactin, like the high levels and the symptoms and everything like that goes, I don't really have any of the symptoms. Yeah. Which is good. So if there is anything, like what the doctor had said, if there is anything, it's probably very micro, is what the term he used.
Small.
So, very small, yeah. So
because the larger it gets, the more like you can lose your it affects your vision because it's pressing on like the brain and a few different things. So anyways, you guys, that's it in a nutshell. I think we're both really excited to make this appointment with a specialist, get an MRI if we need to, just so we can have complete peace of mind that everything is good.
And the other thing that we learned is that it is treatable, so that is a very good thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
So whether it's treatable, either through like medication, he even said that there is surgery if it gets really bad, but in my case, it seems like because we're starting this early,
hopefully if there is anything there, then we'll be good. So oh, overall, you guys, really amazing news. Like we said, thank you so much for all the prayers. Thank you for all the love, the support. We haven't gotten back to like messages and things like that, just as you can imagine.
Our whole life was kind of like on pause, and we're barely now just getting back to it.
In slow motion. I feel like we can see color now.
It really does feel like that though, sometimes.
Oh my gosh. And so that is the best news going into the weekend. I think we're both just excited to start to enjoy things again.
Yeah, just have fun again. Like we've just been doing nothing. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we've just been
it's been hard, and you guys know that. I mean, I've seen comments even saying you can see it in our faces, especially sweet Jared, just how worried it is, and we've definitely been worried, but this is the step in the right direction. We got really fantastic news. We know how lucky we are to get that news because we've been on the opposite end of getting really terrible news when it comes to health things as well. And so we're counting this as a really big blessing, and we're just really grateful.
That's true.
For that.
I know. We were talking about that, like the health stuff that I've had within like the last year, I guess you could say, like last fiscal year. It's been pretty intense news I've received.
Yes.
So the fact that we've had couple small wins here, I'm pretty stoked about.
It's awesome, you guys. So thank you. Also, we should mention, this is it always kind of works out this way. When we go through crazy stuff, I feel like we always have like something to look forward to. And next week we actually have more family coming to see us that's been planned for a really long time. So that's gonna be fun. Some of our favorite people ever coming that I know are gonna bring smiles to our faces.
I know, we're really excited.
To all of your faces as well.
And we have lots of them coming.
Yes, so we're so excited. So we're gonna rest up this weekend, enjoy. We're gonna go celebrate, do something fun
Yeah.
for sure. We're just excited to get back into normal life, not thinking about such heavy things right now. And then we will take it a day at a time. We'll keep you guys updated once we get, you know, that appointment and kind of go from there. But and if you guys have any information on any of this, we're brand new to this with this whole prolactin level, you know, pituitary tumors, things like that. Let us know
With
down below.
the testosterone injections, all this stuff, you know, so we're just trying to figure it all out.
It's all new, and I feel like that's how it is with everyone with health stuff. Like, you don't really know it until you go through it.
Exactly, yeah.
That's how, you know, this whole azoospermia journey has been. Brand new to that, learning about it, so anyways.
We'll figure it out, and hopefully we're helping out any of you guys out there. If you have questions, let us know, hit us up, and we'll do our best to get back to them.
Yes, so you guys, we love you. We're gonna go ahead and close out today's video. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for all of your prayers for us, for just the love you show us. I'm gonna start crying, so we're gonna end the vlog, but we love you, and we'll see you all next time.
See you guys, love you.
Bye.
Bye.